Where's he gone?
I don't know where he's gone.
He's gone
His
missing.
Nerville's got him.
Good afternoon or good evening, good morning, or wherever you are. Dermot has just disappeared. I think he's been kidnapped. Welcome to THFC Till I Die Newsbeat on this wet Friday afternoon. Well, it's wet where we are. I don't know if it's wet where you are, but it's been raining all day here. And on the day that Tottenham depart on the close season tour of Australia, Thailand, and Singapore. So at the moment in the chat, we have the Queen, Ellie Hoiberg, THFC Till I Die, and the Women's Till I Die. So how are you this afternoon, Ellie?
I'm really well, Philip. Thank you very much for asking. I'm looking forward to the show and what everybody's got to say about all that's happening in our brilliant club.
Absolutely. And Mia, how are you keeping on this Friday afternoon?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, I'm eager to know who's going to be on that plane, but it looks like we're going to have to wait a bit longer to find out.
Yeah, I think possibly the flight leaves tonight or this evening. So they're flying to Perth, probably via Dubai or someone like that. So I don't know how they're getting there, but you can be sure that all were traveling business class very comfortably. Sure,
Yeah.
You know, although there's a few players who wouldn't mind putting down an economy to teach them a lesson. But anyway, we'll see how that goes.
There's a few that belong in luggage, isn't there? They can go in luggage.
yeah, stowaways. Yeah, under the wheel arch or somewhere like that, you know. Anyway, let's see who's in the chat while we're waiting for Dermatron to reappear wherever he's disappeared to. We've got Jazz Fusion saying here for the guided tour. Oh, right, very good. And Hot God 10 again. Good afternoon. How are you, Hot God? And Carl is in the house again. Hello, guys. I hope you're all well. And hello to everybody in the chat. Well, hello to you as well, Carl. And Jazz Fusion is returning the compliment. Let me see what else we've got. Did I see Colin in the chat there? What's I'm listening? Yeah, Paul Connor is saying afternoon all. How are you, Paul? And Jazz Fusion is saying, be sure to wind the clock. We'll remind Dermot of that when he comes in, you know. And Terry Wright is saying, good afternoon, all. Let's see, now we get down to a few more. DJ Samuel, also good afternoon. And Kate is saying, just to go to Love Spurs, afternoon, everyone. All aboard the Ange train. Choo choo, yeah. Well, let's hope now that the Ange train is in full steam ahead, because we want a full steam ahead season, don't we?
Yeah.
And hi, Jim. Jim is saying, hi, Dermot, Philip, me, and Ellie, and my fellow Spurs lovers. Yeah. Afternoon, Jim.
Afternoon.
And Jazz Fusion, it says, nice at the beach. Oh, gee. Nice at the beach. I'd love to be where you are, that's for sure, because it ain't.
What happened to Philip there? Oh,
yeah, I'm just reading a comment from Dermot.
Joe, actually, here by the beach, it's actually not rained today. It rained very little, but it's very muggy here by my beach.
Oh
It's
no,
quite muggy today.
it's raining. Have been raining all day here. Hasn't stopped. And Kate is saying Dermot's on the plane to Oz. That explains it. That's where he's gone.
That's it.
He's heading for the Heathrow Airport. And Jazz Fusion is saying Sessignon will stow away. Well, it's possible. I don't think he won't be going. He's injured. He won't be going. Stuart Wheeler, hi Stuart, hi all. I'm guessing still no news on the flying squad. No, not yet. I'd say Tottenham TV or Spurs Play will put out a video later on tonight showing them arriving at the airport or something like that. They normally do, you know.
Yeah.
And Ollie Sunderland saying, hi all, back in Sweden again. And what's not happened to Spurs and Levy cooperation? Well, at the moment, we'll cover that in the chat now in a minute, but there has been, it appears, a meeting between Levy and the Bayern Munich officials yesterday, I think. And we'll cover that now in a few minutes when we get into the topics on the chat. And Joseph Monaghan is saying, come on, you Spurs. Afternoon, Joseph. And Ellie's niece, Drula. Afternoon, guys. Hi, Drula. How are you? And Colm has appeared. Hiya, Colm. How are you? This is Colm from Manchester. Great to see you in, Colm. And David Clark.
The Irish colours there as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
David Clark saying hello from a wet Leicester. Yeah, I know how you're feeling, David. It's the most miserable day in weeks here. Horrible. And you'd be a long way from home. Yeah, I can imagine. Could do with a bit of sunshine just now. And DJ Samuel says raining cats and dogs. Yeah, absolutely. Drula is saying just a girl who loves Spurs. Oh, sorry, just a girl who loves Spurs. She's saying, hey, Drula. Sorry, I'm getting that the wrong way around. So I think we're near the end of the comments now. Drula saying back hello to Kate. And Lisa from Mexico. I'm sure it's lovely and weather in Mexico, Lisa. Good morning, stroke afternoon. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock in the morning with you, or 11 o'clock in the morning. And Ollie I think in Norway or over in Scandinavia saying sunshine over here. Can you send a bit over our way? We could do with it. And just...
Yeah, if he's going to send it, can he just stop it?
Eddie, could you just carry on for 1 second? There's a call coming in there. I have to take.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I was going to say, if Ollie's going to send sunshine, can he send it my way and let it stop for a little bit round by Dover way first, please?
Ollie, there we go. So Joseph Monaghan saying, come on, you Spurs. That's it, Joseph. You get one in there. Drula, my niece, my beautiful niece. Afternoon, guys. Afternoon to you as well, Drula. FCS end column. Yes, I am in the chat. Ha ha. Yeah. Drula's saying, oh, right, we've had that one.
We read that one, yeah.
We've had that one. Right.
We're here by Ollie, and then it needs to be this one, this next one.
Sunshine over. Lisa. Right, Philip, 10 a.m., but nasty heat and humidity. Well, ooh. Lisa, you live in Mexico, so you're lucky you get sunshine a lot, don't you, over down there? I would imagine.
Yeah.
It's very hot in Mexico. I love Mexico. I've never been, but I've seen loads of pictures of it. You know, it is lovely.
Joe, I'd love to go for the food.
Yeah. I mean, it's lovely, isn't it? Yeah, I love the food. My Drula's saying it's miserable here in North London. I wish it could. I wish it would rain. CB.
Centre backs.
Oh, you know what? Sometimes I'm too slow. Sorry, Drula, about that. Right, Ollie Suderland is saying, I come from UK and wakes for golf, and weather was not so good. Oh, well, it's never hardly good in London anyway, where I live. Afternoon, Dermot, Philip and Ellie. Afternoon, Jazzy G. Is that the first time we've seen that person, Jazzy G?
I don't remember seeing Jazz. There's another Jazz, isn't there? Jazz Fusion.
Yeah. So welcome.
If it is. I think they know our name, so I don't know. Maybe we have seen them. Nice
one. Then we've got David Clark saying, Levy is winding them Bayern Munich officials up. Treat getting his dinner and wine for a free at the meeting, at that meeting, lol. Yeah, maybe. You know what? He could do. I wouldn't put it past him.
No.
Adrian Schrocker. Hello, Adrian. Good afternoon, or good afternoon to you. So we've come to the end of the chat there, I think. Or have we? No, we haven't. We've got some
There's a
more.
few more.
Jazzy G, sorry, and Mia. Yeah, you see.
Yeah, it's fine.
Mia, don't forget. And David Clark, my youngest son and his wife are travelling America for the first wedding anniversary. Very nice. Very nice. I'm going off to Cyprus next year for my daughter's wedding. So that'd be lovely. Jazz Fusion, not me, lol. Yeah, okay. FTSN column saying Son, Kane and Madison will be on the plane. Oh, that goes without say. If they're not, it'd be a tragedy, won't it? DJ Samuel, you're doing well. And then Daniel E saying no new centre backs in yet before we went on tour. This club is a joke. Well,
do you know what?
Trying hard. They are trying hard to
get
it done.
Do you know what? I kind of see that people are getting frustrated, and I am as well, because I'm concerned about us missing out. But what I would say is, even if we got them in, they're unlikely that any of our first team players are really going to play, because there's a lot of them on internationals, and there's work visas as well that the club has to sort out. Yeah. So there's quite a lot to sort out when it does. But we should have done it earlier. I completely know that. But I feel like we weren't going to miss out on Madison. So we got the Madison deal done quicker because we didn't want to miss out on Madison. So I felt like that was our main target after the goalkeeper. But yeah, no, I know it's frustrating. If we don't get any in by the Leicester game, I think that's when we should think we're in trouble.
It would have been nice for Postecoglou to have them done, sealed and delivered. But sometimes, like Philip, you say that a lot, don't you, about transfers being more complex than people think they are?
I think a lot of people think it's Football Manager. You just push a button and sign the player. I wish it was that easy. It's not. There are agents to deal with. There are work visas. There are loads of things. Obviously, the price has to be agreed with the selling club. As you've noticed lately, there's been an awful lot of players agreeing personal terms before the fee is agreed. And that seems to be the way things have gone now. Players are agreeing their money, but they don't know what they're going to have to. Spurs don't know what they're going to have to pay Wolfsburg for Van der Ven. And I think that's why it's taking a bit longer now. If Wolfsburg put the price up way higher than he's worth, I can understand why Daniel Levy isn't paying it. But they're going to have to come to some compromise. And it is disappointing that we don't have a new centre back in on the plane going out to Australia tonight. But I think it's going to happen fairly soon. And I'm confident we will get them this season. Because there's so many names we mentioned. There's your man Nelson from Galatasaray. You've got Van der Ven, you've got Tapsoba. There's other ones we mentioned as well. They're the three that have been mostly bandied about. And I'm very hopeful we'll get two of them in before for too long. That's all you can say. You can't really put a time scale on it, you know?
Yeah, true.
But anyway, sorry about that, lads. Dermot won't be joining us, by the way.
Okay.
So it'll be just the three of us. Right, let's go back. I think you've probably read out a good few of these, Ellie, already. Where did we get?
Well, we're up to Daniel E. So if you go up a bit further, you'll be on Rob Belcher's, or no, Jazz Fusion's one next, I think. Let's have a look.
Jazz Fusion is...
No, it isn't. There's more. It's Jazz Fusion.
Do you want me to click on them? And we'll
Can you see them? Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, Mia. Thanks
for you.
Yeah, Son's already. He's flying straight from Seoul over to Perth, which makes sense.
Safe.
No point in flying back.
Otherwise, he's going to end up going back and forth, and that's not good for him, is it? Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Carl Simpson saying, "I'm not worried about the defense; it will be sorted." Yeah, I'm confident it will be sorted this season. It has to be sorted, and I think so far we've seen Postecoglou has got in the players he wants, and he will continue to do so. He wanted Van der Ven when he was at Celtic, so that's that. He's continuing on the chase for him, so he won't give up. So, yeah, that's it. Got David Clark.
Kane has got a special 400 grand a week seat on the plane. Geez, you can need buy the plane for that. Yeah, Tottenham take forever to get Freeze in. Actually, we got the Freeze pretty much. We got Solomon in for nothing. That was done fairly quickly. No way Van der Ven or Tapsoba are Freeze. They're big money signings, and that's why they might take a little bit longer.
Sure.
You can read that one out. You go
Okay,
Yeah,
first,
that's
Rob
fine.
Belcher. I love Rob Belcher. Jimmy Greaves special, isn't he? He says, my favourite Queen, my favourite Pocket
Rocket.
Rocket, and my second favourite Godfather after Al Pacino. Hope you're well.
Thank you, Rob. Yeah.
Love it. I love
You're
that
in
from
good
Rob.
company there with
Yeah,
Al Pacino.
very
So,
funny.
yeah. I think we need to be a lot more patient with transfers. They are not one-sheet affairs anymore. Every aspect of a player's life is monetized. Exactly.
Yeah,
You've got
that's
the image
everything.
rights. You've got everything. You know, I mean, the days when the player turned up wearing a scruffy old pair of trousers and a pair of flip-flops is gone. As we were talking earlier, they're turning up wearing Louis Vuitton and
Of
Karl
course.
Lagerfeld and all that sort of stuff. You know, so it's
Yeah.
there's all sorts of things to be taken into consideration. You know.
Mm.
And Jazzy G is saying, my dad, Jose, says Spain for the World Cup. Ellie, I met you on FaceTime a couple of weeks ago. There you are, Ellie.
Ah, right. Yeah, I remember now. Come on. Don't tell my hubby.
And then Ollie is saying it would not take 2 weeks to get the Dutch centre back in. Sometimes Levy has to pay or go for another object. Well, maybe he is. I mean, this
Maybe.
Nielsen fella from Galatasaray has been heavily mentioned, you know.
Yes.
And but anyway, Jazz Fusion saying too many irons in the fire, can't make a decision. Well, I don't know about that. I think they made the decision. It's just a case of getting the other club to agree to the fee. I think that's probably the biggest thing, you know. And then Ball Bean Counter saying, how come Villa can get Pau Torres and the other dude? Well, that's because he came from Villarreal, where the Villa manager has great contacts with. I think that's probably helped there. And we can't just pay the money for who we want. And it's a one-horse race. Yeah, well, there's probably a little bit more to it than that. But take your point. I have to take your point. But Villa did have a big advantage getting Pau Torres in. And then Colin is saying prices, agent fees, player fees. Then there is the stuff like work permit, image rights. A lot goes into a transfer. That's why they take time. That's it. That's more or less it, you know. So anyway, listen, we'll move on to the subject. And again, like I know we don't want to talk about it, but the dominating factor in today's news is Harry Kane. First one. Apparently, Daniel Levy is offering Kane a position at Spurs once his playing days are over. So he's really trying to know what that is now, whether it's taking over from Doris the tea lady or what, I don't know. But what do you reckon, girls? Is it Leah? I'll go for you first, me, on this one. What do you reckon? Is this desperation from Levy? Is this desperation?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to do anything, isn't he? He's just you just really want something so bad, and you're just like just chucking everything at it. Like, please, I'll give you this, and I'll give you. Do you know what it reminds me of? Whoever's ever watched Home Alone, do you remember when the mum's desperately trying to get home and she says to that older lady, she's like, I'll give you my watch, I'll give you my earrings, I'll give you this.
That's right.
That's what she reminds me of, to swap the ticket. So that's why it reminds me of Levy's. Like, I'll give you everything, like anything you want, Harry, a statue. I'll give you 3 statues, 1 outside and 2 inside. You know, I'll give you anything you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ellie, what do you reckon?
Well, he's already done a mural for him, so the next thing is a statue. He's probably commissioned it already, hasn't he?
Yeah,
and then he's had a word with Doris the tea lady saying you're getting the sack next year. So she's going to be giving her P45 before dear. I think Chris would be very upset because he's always touting her name about.
That's right.
Good old Doris.
But it looks to me, if that's the case, he's obviously hoping that Harry will sign, say, a 4-year contract, which will bring him up to 34, right? Which would be, getting near the time he's going to be thinking about his future. So maybe that's his thinking. Now, I'll go on. The next banner I'm going to bring up is related to this, because it appears that, okay, Harry Kane only met Ange Postecoglou for the first time yesterday, right? But it appeared he was very impressed with him and his vision for Spurs. But is that enough to make him stay? I mean, that is the $1 million question.
Do you know? But the thing is, we all know what Ange is sort of like. So I'm not really shocked by he was impressed with Postecoglou because of the way he talks, the way his demeanour. He is just that kind of guy, isn't he? You think, yeah, I like you. I'm impressed by you because of, the way you talk. But I just don't know if that is enough. In his head, we don't know what he's thinking, but I'm not sure that it is, because, you know, you can't guarantee anything if he stays. That's the thing. You can't guarantee and say, oh, I'm going to win you a trophy, Harry, because you can't do that.
No.
Yeah.
So,
Ellie, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we need to bring in a few more neck turners, you know, get those defenders in and like sweeten it up with a few more signings even, you know, like a really good statement signing like Maddison was. If we can bring one more player in like that and then obviously shore up the defence, he might just change his mind. You know, Harry, he's quite a loyal footballer. He's been with us since he was a kid, isn't he? 11 or 12 years old. I think we got him from, because originally he was at Watford, wasn't he? Then he went to Arsenal and then he came to us. So I think he is loyal, contrary to belief. And also,
Man City loyal, like,
played him as well.
Listen, right, he's not that loyal. He would have gone to City. If he was that loyal, he would never have had his head turned by City.
When you say that, Mia, right, he has been loyal, right? He's been very loyal to us because he could have gone much earlier.
Oh God, I understand that, but what I'm trying to say to you, he isn't as loyal as what people try and make out. He down tools when he didn't get his way to go to City.
Well, that's just one season, though, isn't it?
But it doesn't matter. That just proves you're not just to like you can do it once. It doesn't mean that it's not true the way you behave. That your behaviour says it all, right? And to me, he would have left to go to City, so he isn't that loyal. He would have gone if he would have had the chance.
Right.
I agree.
Well,
I think he is.
I think he's loyal. It's not 100% loyal, but then again, who is 100% loyal?
Of course.
But what's happened, what's also been coming out of the media, and how much you can believe this or not, I just do not know. He has a completely open mind in what happens. He's more than willing to say at Spurs if Spurs don't sell him, right? Which means he'll move on next summer, or he might sign a new contract. So at the minute, everything is completely up in the air, and there's going to be some little things going to happen that's going to make him change his mind or decide. Now, what that is, God knows. I wish I was a fly on the wall in that meeting, but you know, I'm actually a little bit more confident today than I was yesterday that he might just sign this contract, because if he can see his future mapped out in front of him, like going to Germany is a huge leap of faith. When you think about it, he's got 3 young kids. His wife's expecting another baby. They're building a house. He's a London boy, born and bred. He's gone abroad to live in a country he doesn't know anything about. And all that's going to weigh heavily on his family. Are going to have a point in the decision. Now, I've no doubt Charlie Kane is telling him, go and take German lessons and go to Bayern. And his wife is probably saying, hang on a bit, stay in London. So it's whoever has the most persuasive argument. And it has to be the wife, in my opinion, because his life would be living hell if things go wrong in Germany. If he moves there.
I'll make a couple of points. Is that Colm is spot on. He's loyal because he's been priced out of a move at every window. Absolutely, 100%. That's his loyalty, and I completely agree with that. I think that Colm is spot on with that opinion.
Yeah, also, but he's still loyal. He's still loyal, Mia. You know, really.
Oh yeah, I would say to an extent he's loyal, but I wouldn't say he's as loyal as what people maybe try to perceive him as. But what I will say is this whole he doesn't want to go to Germany. They said yesterday in the reports, Bayern know that Harry would go to them. So he is up for going. Otherwise they wouldn't keep putting these offers in if he wasn't going to agree to do it. So clearly he would go to Bayern. Clearly he would go to Germany.
But what he's saying also is if Daniel Levy refuses to sell him, which is very possible, he's done it up to now, that he would honour his contract at Spurs and stay at Spurs. And not down tools, hopefully.
Yeah, no, of course. He would stay because he'll see out his contract and then go and get a massive big payoff somewhere to the next club, because in a year he can get a bigger fee because he'll obviously be free because no one will have to pay for him, which I've been informed I've been told that I don't think that Daniel Levy won't allow that to happen. I think that would be a very foolish thing for him to do anyway, but I don't see him doing that at all. That he would, and Harry as well. I think Harry wouldn't want that because he knows that's not good for the club either, to allow him to be like dithering around until January, and then he can go and talk to foreign clubs, you know. And also the risk is that he could go to a club in the Prem. And I'm sure that Levy does not want to do that. I'm sure.
No, absolutely. Well, none of us want that. Okay, so basically we're saying the two options, really, the two acceptable options for Spurs fans, and they're not really acceptable, but they're there. Is one, that Daniel Levy accepts 100 million or whatever it is from Bayern Munich, and he goes to Bayern Munich now, or two, Harry Kane agrees to sign a new contract at Spurs and stays with us for the rest of his career. Am I right in saying that?
There could be a third option. There could be an option where he signs and there's some sort of clause that he can go for a certain fee, but maybe to just a foreign club for that fee.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But that ties into Spurs. That ties into Spurs for a little bit longer. There's also another one that they could use, which is highly unlikely. He could sign a new 2 or 3 year contract, and Spurs loan him out to Bayern Munich for a season.
Yeah,
that could happen as well.
Yeah.
You know. Which really hasn't been explored that much. So listen, we're going to have to, like we keep saying every day, please let it be today that we find out. I think the trip to Australia now is going to take precedence. So we'll probably have to wait for that to pan out and see if he goes, and B, what the feedback is coming back once the team leaves, and we'll see what the media have to say about it then, you know. But another thing, this shows that things are at least moving. Daniel Levy has met with Bayern Munich. Now, if I was Daniel Levy, I would say, right, lads, you can have Harry Kane for 100 million, but I'm still going to report you to UEFA for tapping him up. Because let's face it, what Bayern Munich did was illegal by contacting a player directly when he's still under contract. You know, no matter what, I know it happens all the time, and it's probably not even reported on. But technically, they were out of order by doing what they did, you know. But no, they'll probably get away with it. Big teams do. So I don't know. What do you think Levy would have the balls to do that? Take their money and report.
No, because I think I don't think he would have the balls to do it, because I believe he's probably done it as well, so he knows the game.
Yeah, they're all doing it. Doing it.
I'm sure that's probably why.
It's just in a high-profile thing like this. It's been so obvious that Bayern Munich have tapped him up.
To this question is that he's already talking to clubs, but he can only talk to foreign clubs in January. He can't talk to any Prem clubs in January, so he can talk to whoever.
That's right.
He can talk to foreign clubs.
But we don't want that. We want his future. I think we need his future decided now. We can't be going halfway through the season and then finally he's leaving us. Going to Manchester United in July or June or whenever it is, you know. So
what do you two think? Do you think it's Harry that's pulling the strings, or do you think Levy's pulling the strings? Both.
Mia, you go first on that one. I don't know.
I think it's a bit of like a head smashing, because I feel like that Levy is desperate for him to stay, but Kane actually ultimately has got the power in a way, because he's the one saying, I know that contract's there, but I'm not going to sign it. I want to keep my options open. So we know there was a contract and he hasn't signed it. So now he's thinking, how much can they chuck at me, and see what I can kind of see if they're chuck enough where I'll be convinced to stay. So,
I'll tell you one thing. Harry Kane does not want to leave Spurs under the same cloud that Sol Campbell did.
No,
that is one thing you're blooming sure of. He wants to leave where everybody is as happy as they possibly can be. Now, not everybody's going to be happy, but he's not going to do a Sol Campbell and say one thing and do another. You know, in all fairness, he's kept his powder dry on this. And if he says he's going to sign a new contract, then doesn't and leaves, well, it's Sol Campbell Mark II. In fact, it'd be worse than Sol Campbell Mark II, because
especially if he went to Chelsea.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I will say? A lot of people say about Charlie Kane. Now, there's a guy who's quite in the know, and he turned around and said, "Do you think that Kane doesn't know what's going on and know what he's kind of doing in this situation?" And I believe that Harry Kane isn't stupid. He's not silly enough to not understand the consequences of his actions if he did go to, say, a Chelsea, or if he did kind of go and leave us in the lurch and not sign and not sort this out early. I'm sure that he understands those consequences. I'm sure that he's not that silly to not understand how it might look to the fans and how it might come across. You know, I'm sure that he's a smart enough guy. Absolutely.
Harry Kane he's not behind the door. He knows exactly what's going on.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly what's going on.
So people
I'd be amazed if he didn't.
So people who try and dismiss it like Kane hasn't got a clue and it's only like it's not nothing to do with Kane, I don't believe that for 1 second.
No. Harry Kane is, I know people make fun of him and this, that, and the other, but Harry Kane has got a very shrewd head on him. So he knows exactly what's going on. And
Yeah.
you know, listen, we'll take a few more comments in a minute. I'm just going to pass one more thing. This is the end of the Harry Kane bit for today, apart from the comments we'll read out. But apparently, Spurs have been lining up a replacement, and I don't know if you've heard the name of this guy, but I certainly would like to see him in a white shirt at Spurs. It's Vlahovic from Juventus.
Yeah.
See,
100%. Brilliant player.
I'm not so sure about him. I don't know if he'll suit Ange, and I also worry because I'm not worried, but I think that Ange more likely want a younger player because we have got Richie. So I feel like he might get someone else who's young because he does like the players young. And how old is Vlahovic?
He's not that old.
He's about late 20s, I think 27, 28, I think.
Yeah, see, I don't know if that would suit Ange. I think he might prefer to get a younger and then have Richie and rotate them because he does like that younger player, if I'm honest.
Sure he'd rather have a 30-year-old Harry Kane than any of them, to be honest with you. But
I understand that, but I'm sure that obviously I get that. But I'm just saying, I've been quiet. And also, don't forget, if they know we've got Harry Kane money, they're going to increase the price.
Oh, well, that's the thing. That's the worry.
Vlahovic is only 23, by the way.
Oh, is he?
Right.
Yeah, he's young.
Than that.
I thought he was older than that, actually.
I thought he was younger.
23 years old. So he would suit Ange down to the T.
It cost about 60 million. Which would be okay, you know.
Right, we'll have.
Will we go back to the comments there, lads, and see what's been coming in since we started talking about the? I think you've got one star there, Mia, haven't you?
No, what I did that so we could see where we were. We've got the place because otherwise it's hard to find out where we remember where we left off because obviously there's so many comments. Don't forget, you can get your comment in quicker by putting in a super chat, guys.
That's it. Let's try to hit the like button as well, lads, because. We need the likes to increase.
These are just like about transfers.
Flooded with comments here. We're flooded in with comments about Kane here.
Let's go back to some Kane ones. There we go. I'll get stuff from these ones.
Now, Harry Kane saga is affecting our transfer dealings. Come on, Levy, forget that and concentrate on the other issues first. Yeah, well, I'm sure he's juggling two balls in at the time here, Kane and the transfers, you know. Kane as a new owner, I don't know if he's got quite that much money in the bank now, but anyway, you know. Daniel Lee said, no disrespect. How long do you reckon you will talk about this Kane situation? I can't bear hearing it anymore. I'll come back and watch later. No, we're going to finish up with this. We're going to read a few comments about Kane, and that's it. We want to finish it every day, but it's just so dominating in the news. You can't ignore it, unfortunately, you know.
Yeah.
And replace the cockerel over the stadium with a massive statue of Harry Kane. Yeah. That might swap him.
I'll put Glenn Hoddle up there. That's who I'd put up there.
I'll put Ozzy.
You love Ozzy.
Is it too much to hope that Kane has been offered a position of chairman? I don't think any of us would disagree with that now, to be honest. I don't think so. And if it was Harry, I will take the offer. What is Harry in 2035? Harry will be 42. 42.
Too old by then.
David Clark, if you only put trust in my crystal ball instead of these sports journalists, Harry Kane will be in a Spurs shirt next season. David, I hope you're right.
I'm on day.
Lewis and Levy, this is from Jim again. Lewis and Levy should offer Kane 10% of the club if they want him to stay so bad. I'm sure that would swing it. Oh boy, that's some offer.
These offers.
Tell you. Now, this is an interesting one. Flat Cap Pete saying, hi all, hope all you well. Should be playing Celtic in Dublin in the last pre-season friendly. Waiting for a surprise signing. Yeah, there was a rumour that Spurs were playing Celtic in Dublin once the Roma game was called off. But now Celtic are playing in Dublin, but they're playing Wolves instead on the 29th of July. So it's not Spurs. We're playing some Sailors team from Singapore, I think. Adrian Sroka saying, at least we have Kane for the upcoming season. Kane will stay until January to see how Spurs are doing before deciding on his future. Not ideal, but it could well come to that.
If it comes to that, I'll tell you what, that is a risky game to play. That really is risky. Very risky.
I think I'd rather see him go to Bayern Munich now than decide.
Yeah, me too. You know? Absolutely.
Yeah, so we can move on.
And Carl is saying, don't tell the German media that they will something they had a punch up and they will write they had a punch up and ran off. Yeah, Levy starting to punch up with the German media. Yeah,
It's coming in.
Echo. Agreed, Ellie. Harry said our defense was crap, so Levy needs to listen. Well, they are. That's it.
Yeah.
Very true.
The ball is in Levy's court until January. Well, we need it sorted out before the end of August now, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think it is in his court, because if Harry doesn't sign, then he's going to end up losing him if he doesn't. And if Harry won't get sold and Bayern don't put in an offer, then actually we're the ones who are in a bit of a not bad, but it's obviously then we lose out.
You know what, though? We're such a rich club, right? We make money left, right and centre, don't we? All worldwide. So we can recoup the money. It's no problem to Spurs. And they're fantastic business people.
Okay. So if you want to get someone like a Vlahovic, he's going to cost however much. They'll probably increase the price, right? Say it is 70 million, whatever, 70 million euros, right? Or whatever many euros it is. That money is going to come out of a budget if we don't have the money for Kane. The whole point of players getting sold, look at someone like Liverpool, they sell their players, they sold players and they bought players to regenerate their team, because Liverpool, in a way, they're similar. They spend money, but they've sold big players, and that's the way of getting the money, Ellie. To lose Kane's money, what he's worth, would be really bad for the club, because you want to replace a Kane, not replace because he's irreplaceable, but you want a player with his wages as well, and that you've got to understand in business you can't afford to just allow that money to be chucked away.
I get your point, but if we make Champions League, and they can recuperate the money, I'm telling you, they're clever business people. They make money for fun at Spurs. Look, we're the third highest sports earning company in the world.
It doesn't matter. That's a lot of money to not have, Ellie. 100 million pounds is a lot.
They can recover it. I'm telling you,
they can't recover it all in one go, though, Ellie. Do you not understand how business works? Like, if you sell your best asset and you let your best asset go for free, say you're selling cars and then you just let a car go for free, recouping that money is going to take time, but you need a replacement now to replace that car, right? So you can't just expect that money to come from thin air.
So I think it's agreed. We have plenty of money, but we don't like spending it. That's probably the best way of putting it, right? Colin has a super chat there. It says, I would wait and go for Tony. Vlahovic isn't prolific enough to replace Kane for the price they want. 10 goals in 27 games, I would worry. Yeah, but Tony's not available until January or February.
No.
That's the thing, But thanks for the super chat, Colin.
I wonder if we can cope, though, if we have got a Richie of one game a week and wait until January. I wonder if that could be an option.
Yeah. Well, anyway, listen, we've spent long enough on Harry Kane, I think. We'll wait and see what happens. Thanks for the comment. If we didn't read it out, it's sorry, but a lot of them were more or less on the same line. So we will no doubt return to this subject in the near future. But in the meantime, there's a couple of other things. Now, this could be, it's happened before, I believe, and he didn't show his worth on the pitch when the games really counted. But Ndombele apparently is killing it in training. Are we finally going to see the real Tanguy?
Yeah, Ellie? Do you know what? Because do you know what? I've seen him, and he looks so bright, and he looks like he's got his mojo back. And traditionally, right, I've heard around the club that he's really good in training as well. So that's no surprise. But he's been looking extra sharp, and he's playing him like more forward, right? So I think he's got a new role for Tanguy. I think he's not going to play a number 10 because Maddison will have that role. I think he's going to play just behind the front two. That's how I think he's going to play, because all the training sessions I've seen, Philip and Mia, he's playing in that role. So I'm really excited about that, because I think that'll fit him, because he won't have to do all the tracking back. They'll have him as, like, they won't want him to be too lazy. They'll want him to work hard, but not like, you won't get 100% out of Tanguy for 90 minutes. We all know that. But if he has that role, he can ease off a bit, and I think he's going to suit him so much. I'm excited to see what Postecoglou's got prepared for us with him. Yeah.
Mia, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that for me, he's always been said, like it's always been said, that he actually is good at training. He is a good trainer. And I really do hope that he can prove and show his worth, because he's such a talented guy that it'd be really a real loss to not see the best of him. And I have a feeling if anybody is going to get that out of him, it would be Postecoglou. Do you know what I'm saying? I do feel like Postecoglou is that kind of guy who will get it out of someone. Like, I do. So I hope anyway.
I think if Tanguy is finally, the penny's finally dropped with him, I think that this is probably his last chance saloon at Tottenham. And he probably doesn't want to go back out on loan again, because that's bad for his, well, it should be bad for his own psyche. That why am I not good enough to play in this team that signed me? You know, like no point going out to Napoli and sitting on the bench for another season. So I think this could be the making of him. And the fact that Spurs allegedly turned down an offer already for him means they must think he has a future at Spurs. So let's hope that's the case, because the guy has more skill in his little finger than most players have in the rest of their bodies. If he'd only apply himself, you know, he really is. And I think we have royalty in the chat.
Okay.
Dave Harris.
David Harris.
You know why? If you mention somebody's name 3 times, he appears. If you dare say, sell Kane, sell Kane, sell Kane, he's like, oh my God, how dare you?
It's like me with Højbjerg. He's on heat, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Sell Højbjerg as well. Yeah, sell them all.
It's simple. Ndombele lives up to Ange's motto: we never stop, or he does not. Or he does not, the ball is up to him. That's it. I mean, let's face it, there's no standing around on the pitch scratching your ass when in an Ange Postecoglou team. You've got to keep moving, you know. And if you can work off a few of them hamburgers, it would be I mean, it could be like a new player for us, basically. It could be like a new signing if he does what he can do on the pitch. Well, on the pitch as well as on the training ground, you know. And Irish Hotspur saying, hello, Paul, I'm good, mate. How are you? And this is annoying, actually, this bit here. Arsenal have announced Timber at 40 million plus add-ons. They spend over 2 million without up to now Champions League. Over to you, Daniel. Well, that's a good point, you know. That's a good point. Arsenal do seem to have a different attitude to actually paying up for players than we do. Then again, it could be just the excitement of actually finishing above Spurs for the first time in living memory. You know, that means that they want to spend money on. They're still, to me, they're still an irrelevance. And I hope they get their they get drawn in the hardest group possible in the Champions League and don't even get out of the group stage. So that's it.
We want another 10-2. That's what we want.
Exactly. You know. And Adrian is saying that Ndombele owes Spurs fans an apology if Ange decides to keep him. If he keeps him and he out of his skin, I think that'll do for me, you know.
Yeah, I think people take it too far. I think people take it too far with this whole Ndombele thing. I'm going to be honest. After what Deli said, I just wonder if people maybe should take a step back from when they speak about players. I just think that
you'll find
be a little bit more.
I think you'll find there'll be a lot more respect for players. You know, okay, I know it's joking and it's not too serious, but I think everybody who saw that Dele Alli interview can't help but being affected by it. And really, I mean, the guy is getting praise from everywhere about it. And I mean, fair dues to him. And I have a feeling too, now the elephant's off his back, I think we might see a player there for Everton this season. And Sean Dyche knows that as well. And that's why he's been so supportive of Dele Alli. And fair dues to Sean Dyche, I have to say. So
you could see it another way as well with Ndombele, because that Morecambe game, you could say that he was so upset with his performance that he just walked off like he was disappointed with himself, because you don't know what's going through players' heads, right?
Oh, that's true.
The body language showed that he was a bit pissed off that he was getting taken off, right? But doesn't that mean that he cares, that he doesn't want to be substituted?
It could do.
You know?
Did you see the video of this is I'm changing the subject slightly, but it's to do with the attitude of the players. Did you see the video that came out of the dressing room yesterday of I think it was Emerson Royale and what do you call him? You posted it as doing the dance with the music. Yeah. I thought that was brilliant.
I know.
That's funny. That was fun.
As soon as I found it, I posted it. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, it just shows you. I don't think you would have seen that happen under Conte.
No.
You know, somehow, I don't think we would.
Allowed it.
No.
We have a super sticker from Matthew.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this. I don't know what sticker it is though.
Yeah.
You have to go on the YouTube to
go
find out.
Yeah.
Right, we'll find out. Well, thank you for the super sticker, Matthew. I'm sure it's something very positive anyway. And
Let me just find
see
out.
now.
It's a rocket. It's a rocket with a man on it. Look, there it is.
Oh, it's probably sending in Ndombele to Australia on a rocket. You know, yeah. David's actually clarifying the time with the squad fly out at 7 p.m. I can't wait to see who's on the plane. That is going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
I hope they show the whole squad, not just. Oh, very good, Ellie. Thanks. I hope they don't show just a few of them getting on. Show the whole lot so we can count them onto the plane and see how many have gone.
Do a head check. I reckon that Dave's shamelessly going to be doing a watch along for it. He's going to be like, right, let's do a watch along.
Yeah, is there anybody on and has lived near Heathrow Airport? They could go to Heathrow Airport down to channel whatever terminal it is, Terminal 3 or whatever, and just see what Spurs players are going. Mind you, we don't even know what airline they're flying on, so that could be tricky.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But anyway, that's great. Then we'll be able to see later on what's the story. And Ollie is saying, Ndombele going to shine. Everybody looks like a question mark. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Hopefully, you know.
I think we all want to be proved. I think we all want to be proved that he can do it, because to me, he's a fantastic player. Yeah. I rate him so highly. As the skill sets that he has got he's brilliant. He's a really great player. So I want to be proved that he can do it.
My brother said a very funny thing about Ndombele. He said he's like Dembele, but without the engine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. But you remember the goal he scored against Sheffield United a couple of seasons ago, when he flicked the ball back over Ramsdale's head.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can get more of that, I mean, that was classic. The first goal he scored against the Villa. Do you remember the first goal for the club?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's let's hope. You know, and we promise, Tanguy, if you play well for Spurs, we will never ever on any channel mention KFC, McDonald's, or anything like that at all, right?
Yeah,
that's a promise. That's a promise.
I told you about this guy.
Of course he would. Yeah, Shotspur. Come on.
Dave's doing a live at 8 o'clock. I think they come up there.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
Yeah. And go back to the Arsenal situation here. Jim is saying Gooners always pay over the odds. Yeah, right enough.
Yeah, well, look at Pepe. When they, do you know what, the cheeky supporters, right? I was having a discussion when I was on Twitter, and they were slating us for a player that we had bought in Ndombele and paying the money. I was like, excuse me, can we just talk about Pepe for a moment? Yeah, don't be giving me this nonsense. Come on now, you've wasted money. Like,
short memories.
So. Yeah,
short memories. And Carl is saying Timber is unproven and Rice is overhyped, and Havertz is crap. Well, that's true. And even the Scum fans don't know why they bought him. Yeah, no, it's all well spending 200 million, but it's how you spend it. I mean, I think at the minute we've got Maddison and we've got Solomon for nothing. To me, I watched Solomon's highlights video there earlier this morning. I'll tell you one thing: that guy's going to terrorize some defense with his pace. He really is good. He's really quick, and he's got a good shot on him as well. So you know, let's hope we're laughing at the Gooners again this time at the end of the season, like we have been for a number of seasons up to the last one. And Jim is saying, Wayne lol, I won't say it 5 times, never. Anyway, whatever that. And Drew is saying what I'm saying about respect goes a long way. It does. It goes a long way. And maybe like we've been guilty of being disrespectful to Ndombele and other things, but it's been done in a kind of a, you know, light-hearted manner. We don't mean anything seriously by it, you know. And I believe, is that the same? Let's see. Yeah, it is. The comments are absolutely flying in here, lads. So I'm not even sure I'm going to get them all in here.
Just do your best, Philip. Just do your best, whatever you can do.
Yeah, I'm just going to see this. Unfortunately, my computer, being an Apple, isn't quite as good as a Mac, as a Windows computer for getting these things up.
We can bring them up for you if you want.
Yeah, if you don't mind, if you could. It's just that would be
a bit further up. Yes, no. I wish we'd started it. Then we would have got it. There's so many.
See, I had such a good idea, didn't I, by doing that? Because I know that way you can be able to find it a bit easier.
I can't find that.
Most of the actual chat is flying here today.
We just start from like a little bit up from the bottom, and then we get some.
Yeah,
So
go
guys,
from
if
the
you do
bottom.
this,
I
really
think I have it
sorry.
actually. I think I have it here now. This is Wayne Bonner. He said, Jim, I did it once and nothing happened. I was seriously disappointed. I haven't a clue what that's about, Wayne, but I'm sure you know.
I don't know if I want to know.
Might be as well not say, you know. And the next one is from Ollie. The club needs to support him off the pitch. He's a French guy who's lost in London. Yeah, good point. He might have been homesick. Yeah.
Joe, what else as well? People don't realise. I don't think with Ndombele, he didn't come from an academy. They got him from the streets. He was a street footballer.
Yeah.
Adrian makes me laugh. A deliberate slow walk. He always walks slow. I've never seen him walk fast.
Yeah, let's hope he can run a bit quicker now when it comes down to it, you know. And
he was just sulking, wasn't he? That's why.
He was, yeah. David's saying there's a guy on a rocket. Yeah, we think we got that one all right. And Carl Simpson is saying, I cannot remember the last time in training I've seen us be that fast and two-touch passing. Yeah, that's the thing too. The training videos are really positive. Okay, I know they're put out always with a positive spin, but there seems to be a zip about the play and about the way they're doing it compared to last season and the season before when they were sort of casually tapping the ball around to each other. I think this could be, as I said, if Ange does what he's done elsewhere, we've got a season to look forward to here.
Yeah.
And Val Taylor is saying fans should question their own attitude towards players. After all, players are human. Absolutely. Point taken, Val. Absolutely.
Yeah. True.
And David saying, Matthew, quality lads.
TBE. Matthew at TBE.
And Echo saying Ange says he wants to take at least 25 players. Right, on the tour. Yeah, he needs to take 25 at least. Yeah. At least. And David Clark with a good comment here is saying, all I hear is sentimentality, which has been the death of our club. People putting a completely different meaning to Ndombele strolling off the pitch. He should never play for our club again. David, let's give him a chance. Let's give him a chance, you know. I mean, if he turns up against Brentford on the 13th of August, and scores a couple of goals, I think a lot of us are going to eat our words. Let's give him a chance.
As well, David, have you never made a mistake in your life? Have you never been in a situation maybe where, you know, people might perceive you a certain way when actually it isn't like that at all? Like, you've got to understand people, you know, like that's why I've always said that. And I had a big argument with Dave from Irish Hotspur about booing players, and when I turned around and said about Sanchez, I think I said it to you guys as well. I felt bad for the boy, and I was like, I don't like it. It doesn't sit well with me, and so maybe I'm a bit more sympathetic. I'm not sentimental. I'm sympathetic because they're humans, and I feel like they're getting judged because they earn a lot of money. And people say, "Oh, it doesn't matter. They earn this much money." No, they're still humans, and we all make mistakes. Sometimes we can be perceived in a certain way when it isn't like that. So just maybe be a little bit understanding.
Yeah. I think. Do you know something? I think since Dele Alli's interview yesterday, I think everybody's kind of thinking things on a different level. We're refocusing our opinions on a lot of things, and I think deserves to have our sympathy and our support to see what he can actually do. If he fails, if he goes back to his old habits again, then I would say the first would get him out of the club before the end of August. But he's long enough to prove to Ange that he can do a job for us. And I think he's going to be a very important player for us this season.
Yeah, like I say, cometh the hour, cometh the man, because he's got all the talent. It's not that it's not like he hasn't got the talent to prove himself. He has. Yeah. He just has to apply it. He has to apply it for a long enough time to make an impression on Ange, because he won't take 30 minutes here and then you lax off for 20 minutes. He won't take that. He'll want you to be fully committed.
Yeah, as I say, I think we're allowed to criticise them if they do something wrong with the pitch, criticise their performance, but to get personal with people is really unnecessary. I feel like we take it, people do take it a little bit too far, and we haven't seen him yet. If Ange wants him, I trust Ange.
Yeah. Like, we haven't seen, he could have had problems like Dele Alli in the background in his early life for all we know. You're saying he was a street footballer. Who knows?
Yeah.
He may have had similar problems. So let's give him a pass on this one, you know. And Ole is saying Dele is the best guy. I love him. I hope he comes back on the pitch. What a guy. Absolutely agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, brilliant.
David will be doing a live at 8 o'clock. I presume that's giving his opinions on the tour party. have to tune into that. Matthew was saying the Irish Hotspur, the GOAT Irish Hotspur has said it. There you go, Dave.
The goats.
We've got another super sticker as well. Thank you, Matthew.
Matthew, thank you very much for that. You're very good.
Thank you very much.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, Ellie will check it out there and see what it is.
It's a little man dancing saying, "You are amazing." That's what he's done.
There you are.
Yeah.
Now, these are late additions to the chat. Ian Ferguson, Darragh Clark saying, how's everybody going? We're all doing well.
Amazing. That's lovely. Well.
We've also got this one from Jim.
I disagree.
Ndombele is a talent. Give him a chance. That's what we're saying, Jim. Yeah, we agree with you. If he fails his test this time, he won't get another chance. I think that's really the best.
No.
It's last chance saloon, isn't it?
That's it. And we've also got Matthew, who's now just become a Harry Kane member.
Well done, Matthew. Welcome to the club. Let's hope we're not having to rename the Harry Kane members.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's true.
We'll have to name whoever comes in this place, you know. Oh dear. And this is Adrian again. Going back to Earth and Ndombele a bit. And Ndombele's yet to prove he can last 60 minutes. That's something. Our fitness levels this season are going to be extremely high, and hopefully his are high as the rest of the players, because Ange's pressing game needs a huge commitment of fitness, and we'll see now. It won't be long before we know the answer to that question if he can last longer.
Yeah. I'll take you back to Glenn Hoddle. They were questioning his fitness and his application a lot of the time in his early days. Like, they could see the talent, but they were saying he's a luxury player, right? But then he backed up and he got himself fit. I'm sure Ndombele is going to realise if he doesn't back up his ideas now, he's going to be out the door. And he'll be playing at some low French club.
Yeah,
he will, like, not low, but he'll be playing at a lesser club.
Lesser, yeah. And Ian Ferguson is saying something that we just had to say a few minutes ago, that Solomon could be absolutely fired this season. Getting him on a free is going to be a literal steal. It is. I mean, I know he only had 6 months left on his cancelled contract, but I mean, from what I've seen of the guy, and what I saw at Fulham last season, he is a good player. So going to give us a little bit of width down that left-hand side as well. Now, let's see what else we've got.
Also, Matthew has just gifted 5 memberships, so thank you so much.
Bloody hell, well done, Matthew.
Oh, that's very good. We'll allocate them now.
I think they just allocate themselves, I think.
Yeah.
You're an absolute star, Matthew. Thanks a million.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely brilliant.
There you go. Carl Simpson was gifted one.
We got there. Welcome to Harry
Kane
membership.
Good. So this is the Cockerell Clock memberships there. Yeah.
Gifted 5 members.
That's lovely. Very good. Thank you so much.
So generous.
So generous. Now we're just going to move on slightly to the last topic of the day after this comment from Dave. Ndombele is also an adult and has to take a degree of responsibility for not working out for him as a Tottenham player. We cannot fall into the trap of excusing every player. No, but I think, Dave, if we see what he can do now on this close season tour, I think Ange and the boys will be watching him very carefully. And I think you'll find if he fits the bill, he'll stay. And if they don't like him, he'll be gone. As simple as that.
Yeah. It's his trial before the trial, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So listen, thanks very much for all the comments. A lot of these are about Kane and Ndombele and Solomon, so we'll take them as read if you don't mind. And we want to finish up just after the hour mark. This is something that cropped up today, and I was just talking to the girls about it beforehand, and it's to do with the Irish ladies team in the World Cup. And they had a bit of an experience today, in so much they had a friendly game arranged against Colombia, who are also in the World Cup, I think in Germany's group, and the match was abandoned after 20 minutes. And the reason it was abandoned was the Colombian players were literally kicking lumps out of the Irish girls. And one of the Irish girls is gone to hospital for a scan on her ankle because of such a robust tackle. The Irish girls were so incensed at the tackle that they walked off the pitch and asked their management to talk to the referee to get the game abandoned. The referee totally agreed, abandoned the game, and even the Colombian FA have come out now and said Ireland were right to do what they did. So all I can say is any team playing Colombia and the next few games in the Ladies World Cup, make sure you've got good heavy shin pads on you because you need them.
Yeah.
So it's not a great start to the World Cup campaign, Ellie.
I know, and they're in Morocco and Korea Republic's group as well as Germany. So there's the 4 teams. You see,
Okay.
so we'll be sending out messages to them of warnings. You know, maybe take the coffee away from the Colombian dressing room or something like that.
It's not the coffee I'd be worried about; it's the white powder.
Oh my God! Do you know what the thing is? Right, it's bad what they've done. All right. So they should fine them. They should really fine them heavily as well.
Yeah.
You know, and even consider if they don't apologise and go, you know, make an official apology to the Republic of Ireland team, because they put one of their girls in hospital.
Yeah.
Haven't they? So
well, she's gone for a scan. And she's one of the key players in the forward line as well, Gillian O'Sullivan, I think her name is. So, you know, it's tough on them, you know. But I think England had a game this morning as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they were playing Canada, I think.
They drew nil each, I think, with Canada. So that
it was behind closed doors, so can't even get it up anywhere. Yeah, I tried to find it, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah, I saw it on Sky News earlier there. So
yeah.
So Mia, what do you reckon? Will you be up and watching these Ladies World Cup games next week?
I want to try and catch the ones, obviously the England ones. I definitely want to watch. I can't believe what Colombia did. I said to you backstage, I was absolutely disgusted because as sports people, that you don't do that to your opponents. You are like, obviously, you're being like aggressive, as in you want to win the game. Obviously, sometimes it can get a bit bitty like that. But to deliberately kick these players is disgusting. What a bad show of like sportsmanship or womanship. Joe, like it's awful. It is really disgusting. They should be absolutely something done about it. They shouldn't be allowed to go around deliberately hurting fellow footballers. That's just terrible.
Absolutely. I've played in a few games like that, Philip and Mia.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Where the opposition have been overly aggressive, and like what you do, if you're not going to call the game off, you just carry on playing and just beat them with skill and just show them what you're all about, and it makes you work harder and it makes you want to beat them more when they're being over physical. And then you've got to have someone like a Graham Roberts in your team, like a lady Roberts, or a Roy Keane, just to sort them out. But there's one in the German team called Alexandra Popp. She don't take nothing from nobody, you know. And she's on the right side of physical fairness.
That's
okay. Don't mind that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can be fair,
don't be over aggressive.
Over aggressive.
And Joe, what else? Purposefully, Ellie, if you go into a game purposefully knowing that you are going to kick them to bits and deliberately hurt them, and it's like a thing where you literally look like you're deliberately doing it, I think that is disgusting. Because really doing a tackle and to do it on purpose, knowing they're doing that on purpose to hurt someone, there is a difference. And in the men's game, we don't accept it. So why should we accept it in the women's game?
No.
True. That's true. So anyway, ladies, while you're on there, Mia, do you want to plug your channel and when you're next on?
Oh, yes, thank you. I will be on, what's today, Friday? I'll be on tomorrow morning, and I will be discussing who was on the plane and who wasn't on the plane at Spurs Between the Lines. So if you could go over there and give me a subscribe. And again, thank you to Matthew, because they're the people who obviously been given their memberships. That was so kind of you. There's the list of names is gone now, but yeah, I'm sure that everyone's really happy about obviously getting their memberships. So well done to Matthew.
Thank you, Matthew, again. Yeah. And Melly, when can we expect your next roundup on the ladies' game?
Right, so I am doing Brazil on Sunday, and then I've got a really good surprise. I'm doing Australia with our Paul Beatty, the Hotspur hippie. Yeah, I was going to say the Irish Hotspur there. No, the Hotspur hippie. He's going to come on the Australian one with me. So, you know, and then I've got a few other things. I've got to do Spain for El Tel Cocorel. Well, I was going to do them anyway, but I've got a short window because the actual World Cup kicks off on Thursday. So I've got to get the main teams in who, you know, are really going to contend for that World Cup. Well,
don't forget to tune in to both Mia's channel tomorrow, and we'll have an update on who's on the flight, and Ellie on Sunday with a very informative program on the ladies World Cup. Her knowledge of the ladies' game is second to none. So get in there if you want to hear about the World Cup. She's your man. She's your man.
I am your man and your woman.
She's everything. She's everything.
Last time I checked, I was a woman.
Yeah. I've no doubt. I have no doubt.
No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
And listen, thank you to everybody for coming in on the chat. Thank you for the super chats. Matthew, special thank you to Matthew for the really generous gifts and the stickers today. Absolutely brilliant. Really much appreciated. And don't forget Dave at 8 o'clock tonight to hear his opinion on who went and who didn't go on the flight. And hopefully Dermot and myself will be back about 9 or half 9 tonight once Dave is finished to do a quick podcast to see what we think of the situation with the team going to Australia. So listen, again, apologies for anybody whose comment wasn't read out. We were flooded with comments today. We will try and read more of them out. We just got literally snowed under. And don't hit the like button, please. Subscribe to the channel, and when we're on again, put in your super chats to get your comments read out much quicker. And thanks to everybody for staying on for so long. We've been on for an hour and 8 minutes, and we'll all see you soon. And as the season gets closer, in Ange we trust, and come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
And as usual, I haven't got the closing music lined up, but it's coming.
Don't worry, Philip.